Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to the Reset Room. Good to see everybody. Happy Tuesday. My days are kind of running together, which is so insane. Yeah, but welcome in, welcome in. My backup is here. Yeah. Welcome to the Reset Room, everybody. If this is your first time in the room, my name is Rhonda. Hey, Jan, welcome in. Welcome to the Reset Room. This is where we talk about all things life and career resets, no matter where you are, where you may be in your journey. If you are looking at starting over, if you are not sure sort of what the change you're looking to make, yeah, we kind of go over those things. We've been talking about a lot of different things, thinking about the new year ahead, preparing for chapter 2026. We have been talking about, welcome in, everybody, welcome in. So many different things. We've been talking about the impact of AI on work, and I want to share another AI revelation I discovered today. We've been talking about just creating other revenue streams, and I'll talk a little bit today, give folks a history about sort of where the impact of work is going. If you're wondering how I know all of these things, I have worked in and out of HR for the last 20 years. And with that, I mean, I'm in the career space. And so I keep abreast on the technology and just sort of everything and where the world of work is going. And also, you know, being an executive at an organization, I actually have to make some of these hard decisions too, that are coming down the pike for not just me and my company, but for what we're going to see in the world of work here in America. So welcome in, welcome in. My story, I came on the platform. I was just looking at dates, actually. I came on the platform at July 30th, at least looking at TikTok as a business, treating it as a business. I've been a doom scroller like everyone else. Hey, cousin, welcome in. You know, I've been a doom scroller since the pandemic, probably like most people, just watching videos. And something clicked for me. On July 30th, and I decided to look at TikTok differently and really understand the business side of TikTok and come onto that side. Hey, Shelly, welcome in. Come into that side of the work. Hey, user, welcome in. And yeah, it's been an amazing journey, an interesting journey. For me, this is a career reset of my own, being a new content creator and also a new live creator. So I've been on the platform. Hey, Vendetta, welcome in. Posting for 5 months, going live, not quite 2 months yet. So not quite 2 months of going live. Thank you for your heart, me. And for those of you that may be new into a live room, I know the first time I walked into a live room, things flying all around. I had no idea what was happening. Yeah, cousins. Chandra, I don't know if you know that Governess Kim is my moderator here on TikTok. Yeah, two of my cousins are here in the room, y'all. Good, good. Hey, Vendetta, I am going good. I'm, technically off of work, but in the HR space, we're never, never really off. But been doing a lot of, at least work at my own time and at my own pace and leisure. Hey, Emily, welcome in. But yeah, being a new content creator, new live host is my own career reset. And it was so unplanned and just sort of the stars aligned, and here I am. So yeah, it's been a journey with that, sharing everything that I learn. Once a week we do I do what I call a creator each one teach one, which we'll do that tomorrow. Just sharing like all of the things that, thank you for those populars, all of the things that I've learned. But yeah, if you're new into a space, to kind of walk you around what you see next to my name, if you see a box, it could say join if you're not a member of the fan club. If you're a member of the fan club and maybe your heart is grayed out, that means you haven't popped in a while and gave us Heart Me. So I'll tell you a little bit about what the Heart Me's do for us as live hosts. For one, it basically shows the algorithm that this room is active and that there are people here in this room. And if you're a content creator, this is where all your engagement points start when you come into a live room. So once you get your Heart Me, the algorithm pretty much tells you what things you need to do next. It'll say like make a comment in the chat. It'll say like the live, which is basically TAPing on the screen. And why we do that, so right now we're at about 2K taps. So what the algorithm is looking for, they're looking for rooms to get up to 10K taps in the first 10 minutes. That tells the algorithm that this room is active, there's conversation going on, and it will begin to push this room out to other folks to join. So that's sort of why that is there, just walking through that. The big red hearts that are floating around, for me, that was like when I first joined the live room, I was like, why are those red things keep flying on top of their heads? Didn't know what a heartbeat was, but that's what that is. And for those of you that are on the business side of TikTok, that's part of our goals all the time. Sharing the live is something that we do, sharing out the live. And you can do it in two different ways. I prefer to share at the bottom, which I'm going to do that myself. Power sharing, a lot of people are complaining. For my content creators, a lot of people are complaining about being spammed, that their inboxes are being spammed with the power shares. And I get it, because I know I spend a lot of time deleting a lot of those. And so I'm trying to be a little more intentional and not power sharing the live, but really being intentional about who I share a room with. And I may even put a note. So if you share from the bottom, you can still select people you want to share. Hey, Aisha. Hey, C-Boy, welcome in. You can still, designate who you want the room to go to, but you might want to put a note like, great teaching going on in here or something to that effect. C-Boy, watch your live for 500 minutes. Thank you. That is my TikTok bestie there, y'all. But yeah, so again, just be mindful of that power sharing. And I've heard that some people are blocking people because the inboxes are just getting out of control with the power shares. And I get why we do it. Absolutely. And I get why, every live host will say, power share out the live, because we want to bring more people into the room. But we also have to be mindful of the relationships that we have and the folks that we're potentially spamming. Too. So again, share out the live in whatever way feels, appropriate to you. And just kind of do that. So I'll just kind of recap yesterday. We had a really great conversation. We talked about just really goal setting and looking at a lot of different things, looking at areas, looking at career, again, in preparation for Chapter 2026. We talked about looking at potentially career goals if you're looking to make a shift of some sort. Life, maybe there's something going on there that you may want to think about making changes. Health, money, and mindset, and those two are just really vital to just sort of everything. And I'm definitely a proponent, and I say all the time that without the mindset piece, kind of the other things can't really fall into place. Because if you're not thinking, if the mindset isn't off, like if you're not feeling confident, thank you, Chris. If you're not, thinking confidently that you can achieve the goals and, what you're trying to do, then it's more than likely not going to happen. So for me, the mindset, thank you, Aisha, is, most important. And, in the work that I do, everyone, they want the tips, like, give me the interview tips, tell me how to get promoted. And we do all of that. But your head's got to be in the game too. And so that's sort of where we are. We had a vision board party last Sunday. For those of you that are new, I'm seeing definitely some new names in the room, which is exciting. And really thinking and talking about visualization and why visualizing is probably one of the most powerful ways to sort of propel bringing things into your life. And it's basically what happens sort of in the brain when you start to visualize. And the brain starts to rehearse. Okay, Aisha, leveling up to a level 13 in the room. So Moon, let me talk to you for a second. Welcome in. And so as a content creator, let me just talk to you about being a quality engager. So coming into the room, engaging with folks in the chat, connecting with folks. We don't do the follow for follow thing here. So, engage with folks in the chat, talk to people, get to know folks. You want quality engagers. You don't just want followers. You want to build community. Followers will not propel you on this app. Community does. So just something to think about, Moon. again, we're not here sort of for the follow. And there's rooms for that. And again, I'm as a new creator, like I said, I've been on the platform. And when I first started, guess what? I was in the GROW rooms too. And that did not, and I'm telling you from experience, that is not how you build community on this app. The majority of those people in those rooms, and you're just grabbing followers, yeah, you may be able to, unlock some benefits on the app, but you also have to then sustain. And we can even talk about leagues and all of that, because all of that is sort of, it's like getting an A once. Everybody can get an A one time, but you've got to sustain it and maintain it. And you can't do that without community. And you definitely can't, you can't do it with just followers. So just keep that in mind when you're moving about the TT streets. You just want to be a quality engager. And one example is think like if we're in here in the chat and folks are just saying follow me, follow me, follow me. Like as a quality engager, if you see my content on your FYP, are you gonna stop? Are you gonna engage? Are you gonna put a comment, a meaningful comment that's 5 words or more on my content? It's sort of debatable. So we just want to be quality engagers here in this space. And again, you're welcome to stay and learn and absorb. You may be new to the platform, and not that I'm been here forever. It's only been 5 months, but I've learned a lot. I spent a lot of time in a lot of rooms learning a lot about the business side of this platform and just how to do it right, well, and successfully. So definitely welcome in, and you definitely feel free. Hey, Joyful Joy, welcome in. And today, actually, oh my God, I have to share. I just did a piece of content before I went on live about the latest AI interaction I had today, which again, is just more, it's like every day now that it's like, it's like a car, right? When you see a car that you like, and you may have never noticed those cars before, but once you get your mind fixed on it, you see them everywhere. And that's kind of how I'm feeling like with AI. It's like at every turn, it's like, oh wait, that was AI. So today, I'm home for the holidays. I'm with my family, and my mom has a heart condition, and so she has a life alert. I've fallen and I can't get up thing, and so we have to test it every month. And so we push the button, and then it calls, the center. And so today, I got to her house and I was like, hey, have you tested for this month? She was like, no, I don't think so. So we pushed the button. A human, last month when we tested the system, a human being answered the phone. Today, the AI system answered and told you it was an AI system. It said her name. Hey, sweetie, welcome in. It was like, hey, Mary, do you need help today? Your call is being answered by an AI system with human attendants standing by if you need help. I was like, what? Now, those people, right? Those are jobs that are just not there anymore. So we went through the whole process, and and she talks to the computer. No, I don't need help, just testing my system. It repeats back. Okay, you're just testing your system? Yes. And then it goes through a series of beeps. And then it says, okay, we'll disconnect. You can check in again next month. Hey, Jody J, thank you for your heart, me. And again, like I said, just last month, humans used to answer that phone. Now an AI system is answering that phone. So I did a post today, and I know governors, I did the post really targeting call center reps and folks that work in those spaces and customer service reps. Hey family, good to see you. That those jobs are being replaced. And granted, there will still need to be some, because again, like the computer can only do what it does. But when we've been talking about jobs shrinking and the number of people that are going to be needed to do those jobs, it is changing. Jobs, it is changing, and we're seeing it already. Just like that one just sort of floored me today. And I already told you all about, like, recently when I cleared customs through an AI kiosk, looking at what the IRS and how the federal government is using. There's 1,700 AI apps that they are using that are replacing people and companies, even in my work. Like, part of what I'm doing on vacation is looking at AI systems and applications and seeing what's out there. I mean, as someone who, helps to manage the business and the finances of an organization, that's part of my duty. I know, exactly right, Jody. You are so right. Like the jobs will be gone, which is why I talk a lot in this room about thinking about how to generate other revenue streams. Those of us that are here on the platform that are here to monetize, looking at other ways, because the jobs of yesterday and the traditional jobs are going away. And yes, there are some skills that I'm going to talk about that you can build to try to be more secure. But even if we keep a job, our jobs are going to shrink because technology is just going to be taking over some of the more mundane things that people and humans used to do. Like I shared last week when I was thinking about, like, I work in HR. That's one of them. Wear so many hats at work, but that's one of them. Like, we have our HR system just rolled out a new update that has AI in it that's going to screen all the resumes that get sent in, and they're going to tell me who we should interview and who we not. That was a job that a recruiter did. And so that's something that I really have to think about. Like, do I want to turn this application on full force? In what way? And, if so, this full-time recruiter's role gets shrinked and reduced to probably a part-time job. And so this is like reality. And like when we clear customs at an AI kiosk, I thought about, we're in New York City. And so every building in New York City has security. You have to go through a lot of security protocol to gain access to a building. We have 3 front desk agents that man our security. Well, if we have facial recognition that would open a door, I might only need 1 person in that lobby versus 3. So these are like the decisions that companies and organizations are going to have to make. And we have just got to get prepared, folks. So we have been talking a lot about that and thinking about our goals. Thank you for the follow. Talking about our goals and, on the platform, if we're on the business side of TikTok, and definitely off. For me, when I think about even with TikTok, goals on the platform, I think it just, for me to continue to have impact, is really the goal there. There's a lot of like things I want to do that, like by way of TikTok, that are off, like brand deals. That's something that, I've built a community here and, have starting to feel and see impact here. But like brand deals is something that would be, off of the platform. Digital products, doing more of that. And just thinking about, again, alternate ways to generate money, because our jobs are just not going to be the same, and even, I think once upon a time, people thought like the higher you may have been up on the ladder, the more secure you are. But even like I have a big job, but I can see even technology advances that would even shrink my job. So it's going to, like, none of us are going to be exempt. Like, we're all going to feel hey Lydia, welcome in, the impact. And this is not a doom and gloom session. This is not meant to scare. I just want everyone to be prepared. And we have a little bit of a runway. Like, I think we're gonna see, based on everything that I'm reading, like statistics, we're gonna see jobs start to shrink as early as probably July in a big way, but 2027 will be like massive. It will be massive. There's just so many applications out there, and they're touching every area of our lives. So we just need to get ready and get prepared so that we are not just caught out there, and that we can survive and take care of our families and maintain. So that is definitely a big one. But yeah, I was surprised to, like I said, AI system answered the phone today. Now I'm interested to see, like, next month, like, maybe this was a holiday something, it's the holiday time. Maybe they gave folks off work. Maybe they're testing this system. So I already told Mommy, we're gonna push the button a little early in January again, because I just want to hear and know, like, is this a mass change? Hey, Sister Saint, welcome in. And just, again, share as much as I can. But like I said, we're going to talk about some of the, oh, New Jersey. Okay, New Jersey. We neighbors. But yeah, it's just going to impact. Like I said, I'm just one company, one person in one company, one person in one company in one city, and other people. And like, I have conversations all the time with my peers in other cities and in other companies. Like, what are you all doing, with AI? Like, how are you looking to, utilize it? Are you really seeing cost savings? Is it really working? And everyone's looking at the same thing. Hey, Rich King, welcome in. Everyone's looking at the same thing. And so it's just inevitable that this is where we're, gonna land up. But we're just gonna get prepared. That's what we do here. We don't run scared, we get prepared. And so with that, like I said, we've started talking about digital products, and creating them, and even trying to package something that you do really well into an offering that can generate money outside of your job. That's something that's sort of easy. I've shared an example, like courses. Like, I built a management course that I delivered at a job, made it my own, and now I sell it to other companies, and I'll train, their employees. So anything that you do well. I shared the example of my daughter who, during the pandemic, she was just at a company that just really wasn't taking health seriously at that time. And yeah, she left and really didn't have a plan B, and didn't know sort of what she was going to do next. What she ended up doing was, everyone during the pandemic, everyone was cleaning out closets and rearranging their houses and just doing anything to keep busy. And a lot of her friends, their parents was like, oh, can she come and help me do this, this, and this? Long story short, 5 years later, she has a thriving home professional organizing business. And we had to sign this NDA, but I can say this part. She just came back from Hollywood, doing some work for some real big celebrities. So I'll share when we can, because I'm so proud of her. But just, again, taking something that she was just naturally good at, and have been able to package that into a business. But we just got to start doing it, folks. And the sad thing for me when I think about this, I feel like I've always said there's like 3 buckets of people when I think about, I feel like there's dreamers, and I feel like there's builders, and then I feel like there's doers. And so to kind of talk through how I envision them to be different, right? Dreamers are just that, like, they dream about all the things, like, oh, if they won the lottery and all the things and how beautiful it would be. And that's great, right? Because that's visualization. But not much action other than the dream. And then there are builders. Like, I've known a lot of people that have started and stopped. Like, they're the builders. Like, they may start something and get to a certain point and then quit. And then there are the doers that sort of take it all the way. And if you're not a doer, you're probably gonna be left behind, or you're gonna be chasing sort of the pack. Like I was just sharing, my daughter was just in LA. So many driverless cars out there that is just mind-boggling. And even she's traveled a lot all over the world, but even in Japan, she was sharing that a lot of stores, there's no employees in the stores. Like, there's no cashiers, there's no nothing. You walk in, you grab your items, you pay, and you walk out. Hey, PC Swimming, welcome in. And so the world is just changing. PC, I was just sharing the latest AI I came in contact with today. My mother has a life alert. And normally when we test the system and it calls them, a human being answers. Today, a computer answered, and it told you that your call is being answered by an AI system with human attendants standing by if you need them. I was like, what in the what? Yeah, this thing is just exactly, right? Every day, I'm just, again, like I said, my eyes are peeled now, and every day I'm just noticing more and more of just like, those are humans that used to answer that phone. And so, the HR and me, I was trying to see, like, did they do a layoff? It's very quiet about sort of that. And I know that they use AI to like the falls are detected, by an AI system. Like it's looking for, okay, exactly, PC, the Jetsons, okay? This world is going to look real different in 2027. I kind of see that now. So seriously, we're just sitting in the street because of the outage. Oh, wow. Yeah, they're testing them. Well, Jasmine was telling me they're testing them in Atlanta, and they're definitely testing them in New York City, the driverless cars. I drive in New York City because I go into work one day a week and I drive when I go. It's rough out here driving with the humans behind the cars. I don't know. I don't know about a driverless car in the city, but again, that's just the technology. And then, but even think about that. Like if I think about the number of Ubers that are on the streets of New York, like if they're replaced by driverless cars, like I think about not just jobs, but like crime. Like the people are still going to have to live. Like what is society gonna be like for us, in a couple of years? So these are all the things. Yeah, these are the things that keep me keep me up at night, and then keep me focused on just grinding and preparing and trying to create as many revenue stream as you're right though, PC. And and a lot of people are like leaving the country. And let me just tell you about this AI. I haven't seen this, but I was talking with a girlfriend of mine. She's a teacher in Dubai, and she's been teaching 4 years now. And I asked her, I said, so what is AI looking like over there, like in the school system? She's an English teacher, so she teaches high school English. And she was telling me, she was like, I wasn't trying to tell you yet because it's not, she's interviewing for a school that is basically an AI high school. And I said, well, what does your job then become as a teacher? And she said, the way this particular school is structured, and I don't know if it's structured differently in other parts of the world, but this school she's interviewing with, they're no longer, hey, Lori, welcome in. Oh, she does. Your roommate teaches over there. Yeah, my girl has been there. This is her fourth school year. And she has no plans on, she said she doesn't see herself ever coming back to the States to live. And I'm going next Christmas. I'm definitely going. She's been like, I've been here 4 years. When are you coming? So I'm going to plan to come, because I ain't coming out there in the summertime, because you're gonna roast. It's 120 degrees every day in the summer. Yeah, we're not doing that. But no, I told her I'll come next Christmas. But yeah, so this school that she's interviewing with, they're called learning coaches. So basically the AI system, the kids are like, they're basically at their desks, which is basically a computer screen. And so if they need help, they basically click a button on their screen. And then so or like the teachers would pop up on the screen. So you're like, literally, if you think about coaching, it's literally coaching those students that need it real time in the moment. But you may or may not need fully licensed teachers. Hey, Robert Lee, welcome in to kind of do that. And I was like, that is so wild to me. So like the whole entire day is taught by AI systems. And I mean, granted, that's a wealthy place, right? Dubai, they have tons of money. Thank you for your heart, me, Robert. I mean, it's a wealthy place, so clearly they have a lot of money. But like if that technology already exists, it'll be interesting to see, what happens here, and even how long something like that, hey Harvey, welcome in, takes to trickle down to the States. But yeah, she said it was just fascinating when she toured the school, just to be able to see that. She toured the school just to be able to see that. And she jumped on the opportunity just to be part of the advances of that. Hey Nikki, hey Messy Center, welcome in, to be part of that wave, and just to sort of learn how they do things. And just, again, I mean, what a resume booster even for her. Like she says, even if she hates it after, she'll do it for, school year, just to get that experience and understand how, it's impacting. We're talking about AI particularly, just like alert, and an AI system answered the call today versus a human. We're last month a human. And then I was sharing that one of my good friends is a teacher in Dubai, and she is interviewing at a full AI high school. Am I glitching? Am I glitching for everybody else? Nobody said anything yet. Am I, folks? Am I glitching? You know, these folks in this room, Nikki, they, especially my mod, who's my cousin, she is quick to tell me, Governess, am I glitching for you? A little. Okay, well, let me do. Oh, okay. No, let me know. Let me know if that's better. I changed a couple settings, so we'll kind of see. Listen, y'all, I'm in my hometown. I ain't gonna say we're in the sticks, but it's not like I'm at home. What? Now I'm repeating? This is so weird and odd. Thank you, Nikki, for the Jolly Christmas. So that did not help. And I know some earlier today, I was on a couple other lives and it was glitching too. So it could be. Robert, thank you so much. That is one of my Infinity crew members. We are Miss Matthew Recruits and GQ Live hosts. Is that better, folks? Merry Christmas to you too. It's okay. I know the speed is super fast. Okay. So I'll leave it sort of, it's just all the things you got to manage on this side of the screen. So how is everyone? How is everything? Holidays? Is everyone home with family? Is everyone off from work? Relaxing? Where is everyone? Is it cold? Actually, they have snow in New York City. I'm not in New York City right now. I'm upstate New York with my family, and we actually had a little bit of snow that went away. Oh, okay, Robert. Let me get ready. That is the cutest gift. But yes, the snowball in the face. Thank you so much. Oh, gosh. Yeah, so getting ready for the holidays. If you celebrate, if not, just enjoying the time off. I'm here for a week. And then I got to go home and enjoy a week without them. I love them, but I need a break. My 4-year-old granddaughter, I saw her earlier today. And so at my mom's, and I said, okay, I'm going to go now and I'll see you tomorrow. And so about 5:30, she comes in the room and she bursts in the room. She says, I'm back. I said, like, why are you here? Thank you, Robert. I said, what happened? Why are you back? And I'm spending the night. She is 4 going on 24. She is, I guess maybe it's the technology, but they are just so advanced. I feel like she has definitely been here before. So yes, I'll have to entertain her because she's like, when are you going to be off that TikTok so we can talk? She's 4. What we going to talk about? But yeah, she clearly wants to talk. So yeah, but it's cool. But no, I have a week here and then I have a week at home to don't work on my goal setting and kind of finish because I haven't started. I shared about the 12-week year. I'm gonna do a piece of content tomorrow because a lot of people, I think it sounds a little overwhelming because what their model really teaches you is basically that you can achieve a year's worth of goals in 12 weeks, which is basically in 3 months. So every 3 months you can achieve a year's worth of goals. And that sounds, and it's work. Like it's not magic, right? It's work. But to kind of break it down simply and a little easier, if you think about like if there's 3 areas where you want to change, like if there's like for me, I'll just use me. So like brand deals is an area that I know something that I'm looking to do for this year. Continue to work on, health improvements is one and money, right? And so really the simple way to think about it is just picking one thing to do each week in each of those areas and like doing them like with no excuse. Oh, I gotta get a screenshot of that. Now that's cute. That turkey on the head during Thanksgiving is so disrespectful. Like now that's cute. I don't mind being inside the Santa aisle surprise. Thank you, Robert. But yeah, that turkey on the head during Thanksgiving, I said, it's hilarious, but it's so disrespectful. at the same time. But no, I'm just going to work on goal setting. And if all of that sounds a little too heavy for you, this is one thing that you can do. I call it the 1% better rule. If you just do one thing in any category every day, you will amass changes and growth. So it doesn't have to be this big daunting thing. I am going to break down though the 12-week rule, because a lot of folks want the details. The book is in my showcase, and I'm not, it's there, as well as everything else in my showcase, which is a beautiful thing. That, like, I've sold a few things in my sleep. I said, okay, girl. But yeah, there's just so many different ways to monetize on this app, and I've been trying to get more people to just take advantage of it. Going live. Thank you so much, Robert. Merry Christmas. Thank you, friend. And we are community members. Like I said, we're in the same crew. Our recruiter who brought us into the live agency, she is just a great resource. She helps us in so many ways just to really get better on this app. She hasn't been here long either, but she has like taken it by storm and made such an impact. And and just keep doing so that we all continue to just, get better. For me, I just want to keep making content. I want more viral videos and more viral content, but impact. And like now, because I'm working on brand deals, so that's something I'm preparing for now. I really got to focus on like looking at impact, because what they ask you to do is create like an impact testimonial sheet. So I had to like read through my content and actually reading comments. And so like you reading like where someone says, oh my God, this was a great tip. This helped me. Or, I used this question and I got the job. So to be able to see that for me is just sort of like the impact that I wanted to do and to bring in coming here. And originally when I started, and I think hey Timmy, a lot of people have said this in their journey, like their journey, thank you for the heart, me, journey changes on TikTok. When I came here, I originally decided that I wanted to build a community just for women. And where that really came from is like being in HR, I had just seen for so many years, women shrink their ask for money. And like either when it's time to get hired, and a lot of that comes from fear, like, oh, they're not going to hire me if I ask, for too much. And so they shrink their ask. And even if it's at that time where, you're at your annual review process and, you want to make an ask for, a raise, shrinking the ask there. And so when I originally came here, was really talking about, really just trying to help women, teach them like about the confidence that you need and how you need to show up and how you need to make the ask and to also get it. But again, thinking about impact, like I'm seeing when I look at my content that it's resonating again, more so with women, but that's only because there are more women on TikTok than men, but it's resonating with both and with people. So, that's sort of making me think about, this work a little differently, which is great. And I love that too. Yesterday, I had a meaningful comment from a man, and I did a video reply to that to give it more traction and to highlight that more that men are interested in this content too. So it's work, but I love it. Like I'm good at my day job, my 9 to 5, and I'm in New York, so we earn a good living, but there's no real passion there. Like for me, this gives me that. And to be able to just help and teach and do that so that everyone else can succeed and continue to do that too. Because if I definitely can help you grow your salary and get paid. That is something that I know. So yeah, we just doing all of those things. We are. So if we can shift and talk a little bit about AI. We've been talking a little bit about AI. And so what I've been researching a lot, and there's a course I think I'm going to take it just really for, I'm kind of a nerd, but also just to have not necessarily the piece of paper, but to see what they're going to teach me that I can't organically find on my own. But they're talking about like all the human skills that AI can't replace, and that, hey, Miss Jasmine, welcome in. And that people are going to want to strengthen those skills, and some of it, I won't say some of it is common sense, because as we all know, common sense ain't common. But a lot of it are things like, creative things are going to be, it's going to be hit or miss with creativity. Like, I had just read recently that Matthew McConaughey has licensed his voice to an AI company. He's also bought shares in the company. So then, of course, I'm going to take that a thought further. Like, will we see a Matthew McConaughey AI version on a screen? Like, I use a couple AI apps of like photos and even to do videos. Like, all of my content isn't actually me. They're AI, they're AI versions of me. So it's just like, like, I don't know. They say, creativity and storytelling, that there's no place for it in AI. And I just don't think that that's true. Hey, sweet tooth, welcome in. Let me grab this young lady right here, y'all, because I don't know what be happening in the world right now. But so this young lady right here has an amazing live, and she does amazing content on keeping your pearly whites white and in your mouth. And I want to bring her on the highlight, so you can definitely connect with her and check her out. And it's amazing. Like, there are so many people that are in her lives, but not really resonating with the content. So definitely check her out. If you see her on your FYP, definitely be a quality engager. Comment with 5 words or more. Share out the reposted. Do all the things. Add it to your story. Yes, just do that. She is a sweet person. And we all, come on, y'all. We all know some folks running around here with some raggedy mouths, okay? And if you want to power share, share her profile with some of them. And you don't even have to put a message. Just say, thought you might be interested. But definitely show her some love and support. Absolutely. And this is a community affair. That is the one thing that I have loved about TikTok, that I didn't realize, that it is just truly a community, and that, we're all in here just to win. Like Robert, who was just in the room, who was in earlier, we like I said, we're part of the same, we're all part of GQ, which is a live host agency. But we all came into GQ under the same recruiter, and she helps us in a lot of ways. And we did a powwow. We do powwows early Monday morning, and just really talking about how we can help support each other. And part of it was just this, going into each other's lives, showing support. And it doesn't even have to even be gifting. It could just be, tapping and sharing. Like, the tappers and the sharers matter too. Everyone matters in a live. Like, let me look in the viewer's eye. So the viewer's eye says that there are 6 people in the room. And when I look at, so if you can even tap on it, when you look at the viewer's eye, okay, Governess, my moderator, you are grayed out. So you need to get your heart me, which is tapping on that heart next to my picture. Oh, and there's my backup. Oh, Governess, I meant to tell you, I know if you was like, who is this backup? I started a new backup account because this is so weird. My first backup account, somehow it got flagged. Thank you, sweet too. It got flagged by TikTok as, what did it says something like suspicious activity. And so I just deleted it because I didn't know what that was about. I didn't know. A few weeks ago, I don't know if most of you know, but a lot of people that I knew were getting, their accounts were getting hacked, because it was someone that we all knew. She's a creator on the platform. Her name is Tyra to the T. And I got the message too, and basically said, like, come support me. Click this link and come support me. I'm going to be in it was like a fashion contest or something. Yeah, they really are. And it's good. Like, I'm fine with them banning and doing whatever they need to do to keep us safe. Hey, Bernadette, welcome in, to keep us, safe on the platform. But I did click the link, but because I have 2-step verification on, nothing happened with my account. But some other creators that I know that didn't have their 2-step verification, got hacked. But that backup account, I didn't. And they're really connected. So when it says suspicious activity, I was like, oh, maybe something started going on, and ain't nothing over there. I don't go live on that account. Ain't no diamonds in the account. So if the hackers went in there, they was like, oh, she broke. We ain't staying here. but I just deleted it. So I'm starting a new backup. And you know how, like, when you create the name, I didn't mean the name to count backup. Okay. What kind of name is that? But, you know, you can't change your name but once every 7 days. So I can't even fix it till Saturday. But yeah, I'm going to create a backup because y'all, I think I want to do TikTok shop. And they say like the algorithms are different, that like your content algorithm is very different. Hey, Queen Sugar, welcome in. Is very different than the shop algorithm. So if you want to do TikTok shop, you need to have a second account to do that on. So yeah, so I'm going to do that with my backup. So I'll have to fix that name and do that. But there's some money out. Like I said, my showcase has a few items in it, and some of them, like, it is so amazing to me. Like, there's the protein coffee in there that the commission is like, I'm making $5 a bag on coffee, y'all. Like, what? And like, who knew? And I didn't even realize, like, I put in products that I use. So I wasn't even looking at commission because I wasn't really looking at it like, oh, this is a way I'm going to monetize. Like for me right now, I was thinking about just basically going live, creator rewards program. Oh, but then I got kicked out of it. Did I tell you I got kicked out of the creator rewards program, y'all? Thank you for sharing the live. Hey, For Us All Creations, welcome in. A lot of us got kicked out. Oh, thank you all for helping me meet that goal. A lot of us got kicked out of the Creator Rewards program on November 26th. Oh, that was my Heart Me goal. Okay. Now that I'm going to have to cheer for that. That is a goal that TikTok gives us that has been hard for a lot of people to meet their Heart Me goals in the lives. Good to see you. In the live. So for me, that's like, oh, that's great, to be able to meet the goals. And it ties back to monetization. And let me just look at numbers. Okay, so far 244 people have come through the room, so that is amazing. And 6 new followers. Okay, that's doing good. Okay, so this is month 2. Well, the 29th, it'll be 2 months for me. And most creators, oh yes, let me tell you how I got, girl, let me just tell you this nonsense. So it happened to a bunch of people on the same day. So this was November 26th, and the message was, your views have been disqualified from the Creator Rewards program because you have changed some settings on your videos to private, which I didn't. And I talked to, at least 5 or 6 other creators that this all happened to on the same day. So clearly it was a glitch. But I also know that this is an algorithm, right? And so how I looked at it is, so for me, I had the view. So to get in the Creator Rewards program, for those of you who don't know, in addition to having 10,000 followers, you also have to have 10,000 video views in the last 30 days, right? So I actually had the views before I had the followers. And so when I realized the clock was ticking, I just truly stayed in rooms and engaged my behind off to get the followers to be able to apply, got in the same day I applied. And I really felt like, well, maybe this is a test to see, like they said, the Creator Rewards program, and they say that the reason that they request the 100K views is so that you can prove that you can produce viral content. And so I was like, okay, let me start again. So they said we can reapply. I can reapply again on December 26th. I don't think I have 100K yet. But, I'm not really stressing it either, because like when I think about monetization, it's one of the harder ways to earn money, because even before I got kicked out, I had one video that qualified, because then there's a whole list of criteria on what makes a qualified view. And there was only one video, and I think it was only up to paying me 38 cents at that point in time. So live is definitely more lucrative in terms of time and like ROI. Like if you can spend, I generally try to spend, I'm working my way up to longer lives. But I generally do an hour. But yeah, I just got some feedback from my agency that, yeah, I need to go longer. Like they're basically what it was saying, which is good feedback I'll share for other live creators here, that the algorithm needs at least 45 minutes to sort of push you out. And so if you're cutting off at like an hour, you're not really giving the algorithm time enough to work to bring more folks into your room. So they were definitely suggesting 90 minutes. So it's the holiday week this week, so I'm definitely not trying to do that. But maybe next week, I'm definitely going to start at least trying to aim for 90 minutes. And then, you know, most of the creators that do this live thing, you know, are doing, you know, 2 hour lives. I got to work my way up there. That seems like a whole lot of talking, ain't it? Sweet Tooth, how long are your lives? I think your lives seem long. I've popped in a few times, and you know, you be teaching and you be having the board up and you doing all the things. Okay, yeah, it's a lot. So I would really have to. I'm gonna spend like the weekend and even the rest of this week thinking about, like, not to say stretch it, but yeah, but like what more to talk about and like what more to add in, to truly. Oh, okay. See, boy, me too. I'm 30 minutes in and out. Exactly. So, see, boy, I got a letter from GQ. A lot of us got letters. Yeah, yours are long, and you lost my voice. Usually 2 hours. Yeah, I got to work up to. That's a stamina thing. I'm proud of you. I got to work up to that. But yeah, see, boy, a lot of us got different letters from GQ, and I think for a couple of reasons. For one, I've been assigned to a creator manager. He's responded to. I was about to tell the tale. He didn't. I won't say he never replied. He responded to one message, but he has never come in my room. So this is what I think. And so GQ, I think they've just grown so big that I think what has happened is that they just don't have enough people to support all of the live creators. So I feel like they ran back end analytics. And C. Ray LeBou, welcome in. I think they ran back end analytics because some of us got different letters. Like my letter basically said, you need to go on live longer. Your lives need to be at least 90 minutes. I'm not sure if Nikki is still here. I think her letter said, like, you need to battle more, which, okay. And so everybody's letter was different, but I feel like that may have just been like back end analytics because they can see all of our back ends. And of course, with mine, they're going to see like the time, like how long I go live. And, you know, for me, like, not to say that what I'm talking about, sure. I mean, I do training classes all the time. Yes, I could talk for, you know, a long period of time, but I also want it to be engaging. I want it to be not just, you know, I've been on lives where people are just sitting in the room and just like kind of not, yes, boy, it was emailed and then I printed it. Yes. And it was probably maybe around the 15th or so of the month. And it was interesting. We were all on live telling each other, who's in here on GQ? Did you get a letter? So yeah, it was emailed. Yeah. And I'm trying to think, the subject may have been something like your creator journey or something like that. But yeah, it was definitely from GQ. Yeah. And like I said, everybody's letter is different. Mine just basically said you need to go live longer. And I mean, I appreciated them explaining why. Like they were saying it takes the algorithm 45 to 60 minutes to truly get moving and to be able to push you out. So if you're cutting off right at that time, you're missing potentially, you know, more people. And like, you know, for, like I said, I think I had just shared, like 244 people have come in this room since we've been here. And so a lot of people, like there's a cycle, there's a time cycle. Like I love TikTok. Like they give us so much data analytics on the back end. And you can see like how many minutes each person spent in your live. And on average, unless the person is really interested in the content and stay for the whole live, on average, people cycle in and out in like 5 minutes or less in each live. So I appreciated them at least breaking that down. So that's something that I know I'm going to have to work on. And like I said, starting next week, I'm going to aim for 90-minute lives and then try to eventually, you know, maybe do that for a month to get the rhythm and build up the stamina for that, and then move into trying to get up to that 2 hour mark. Yeah. So, and then part of it, like, which I don't think I've mastered, maybe some of you have, is repeating. Because again, like they're saying, if people are cycling in and out of your room all the time, and the majority of them are not staying for the whole time, like, I don't know what the interval is. Is it every like 30 minutes that you basically stop where you were and sort of reintroduce yourself again for the people that are new and just coming in, you know, and so you're sort of on like this repeat cycle. I think it's harder. I think it's so easy to do in those in engagement rooms because you're literally saying the same thing every time. Everybody come on in, scoop each other up. You know what I mean? When you're teaching though, it's like it doesn't sort of flow in that same way. So I really have to think about that and maybe spend some time in some teacher rooms this week, other creators that are teachers and coaches, to sort of see how they maneuver that. Yeah, exactly, sweet too. She said I need to start. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and they said that though, like it's not, to your point, like I said, you lost your voice. Like there is a point where you should be continuing to sort of repeat because people are cycling in and out of the room the whole time, the whole live. And even looking at your back end analytics, like here, my moderator, who's my cousin, okay, she has the longest watch time in my room, but she's here, she's working, you know, so that makes sense. But yeah, if you look at when I look at other analytics, like I said, unless probably like some of my creator friends that are also interested in the topic may spend on the high side 10 to 15 minutes in your room, and then they're moving on. And I know, like, even for me, when I'm roaming the TikTok streets, like I'll spend a few minutes in the room, I'll come in, I'll give my daily heart me, you know, I may give a few populars depending on sort of what my gifting budget is looking like for that week. And then I'm moving around. And so I know that that's true because that's how, you know, we move around too when we're not on live, but actually visiting, you know, other people's room and showing support. So it's all just maneuvering, more learning and teaching. For those of you who haven't heard this part, I talked yesterday about the sleep. Well, let me say, a lot of people have been calling them sleep lives, even though they're not sleep lives, using the voice chat feature. So I have been using it probably for the last 2.5 weeks, and it has actually been pretty successful for me. But a top creator on the platform, I think she's either A1, she's their A1 league or A2 league. Thank you. Oh, let me say your name right. Krisha, that is pretty. Thank you for your heart me. Oh, okay, Seapoy, you got the same letter that I did. Yeah, this states that you need to go live longer. But yeah, so she was doing one of the voice chat, sleep lives, whatever you want to call them, and she got a restriction. And so I just wanted to share that to folks that oh, okay. Well, I seen the RDH and I said, oh, okay, we got all the clean teeth people in the house. Yay. Okay. And RDH, wait, is that? Yeah, that's dental hygiene, right? Dental hygienist. Okay, thank you for popping in. I appreciate you. But yeah, so be careful with that. So I put those on pause. So I'm going to stop. And part of it, you know, why I was doing it was a couple of reasons. For one, because my lives weren't longer. That was one reason. The second reason is that I do have some community members that are in other parts of the world. And so for them, like they said, that was a really cool way for them to be able to come in and give a heart me, because if you're not live, they can't give you a heart me. And so like we're in like one of my, you know, core supporters, he's in Indonesia and we're 12 hours apart. So it's like 8 a.m. there now and he's just getting his day started. And so he rarely, hey, Jesse J, welcome in, rarely would be able to give me the heart me. And so doing the overnight, you know, voice chat, he would be able to come in and support and that sort of thing. And then I have some supporters in South Africa. So same difference with the time difference. But yeah, she got a restriction. And the restriction said something like that like the voice chats are designed for like podcasting style. For more, thank you, Jesse. More for conversation, not for, why are they knocking on the door, y'all? They know I'm on live. Why is this a thing? See, I'm an empty nester in my real life at home. And like, who's knocking on the door? It's probably the 4-year-old that's probably awake. Like, are you done? Because I'm awake, Mimi, and now it's my time. Oh, it's her. I hear her out there. She said Mimi didn't open the door. No, because Mimi's still working and she's back. Oh my God. Okay. Maybe that's my cue. Whew, it's rough out here in these streets. Yes, she is 4 and she invited herself to spend the night. I saw her earlier and she knocked on the door at 5:30 and it's like, I'm back and I'm spending the night. I said, okay. And she wanted me to let her know when I'm off this TikTok so she can talk, so we can talk. Right, she's 4. What we gonna talk about? But okay. Yeah, so I guess I maybe do that. Let's see. Let me check my stats. Where are we in time? Let's see. I just love they give us so much. Okay, just hit an hour. 262 people have come in the room and 6 new followers. That is amazing. Now, one thing that is interesting is that I don't see today. TikTok has been showing us too how many people have been lurking from the hallway. Oh, you're wrapping gifts and you're going live soon. Okay, I'm gonna definitely pop in, Sweet Tooth, because I'll be running the streets after I get off if this little one lets me. But I can definitely pop in and definitely show some love. I appreciate it. But yeah, so yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna wrap up here. I am definitely gonna pull together naughty people. I know, right? I am definitely going to flesh out. Thank you for all the support. Always for all of you. I know, lurking from the hallway. Yeah, they will tell you. You'll see a number. It's usually when right below the viewer's eye. It has like the little green dot on it, and it will tell you right below that if you see a number. Like I've seen at the most 6 people. They'll tell you how many people are like watching you from the FYP. And so when you see that number, and when I see it, I was like, don't be lurking from the hallway. Come on in here. We don't bite. Get in here. So, and just see if they pop in. And a lot of times you may at least get 1 or 2 to actually come into the room. So that's a good feature. Like I said, they give us so much data for us to be successful. Like if you're really not successful on the platform, I think it's because you don't want to. So boy, we got to work on going live longer. So I'm gonna work on figuring out how to do the repeat and where and how to break up a lesson so that it doesn't sound for folks that want to stay. Like I wouldn't stay in the class if I've heard all the material and then you're gonna start to repeat. I wouldn't stay. So I don't know if that makes, thank you, Sweet Tooth. I think that might be my first floral bouquet. Let me take a screenshot. Thank you so much. Yeah, got to figure this out. Well, wait, before you go, now you for 2 hours. But you're teaching that whole time because I see you have the board and you doing all the things. I'm gonna just have to come and sit in your live. Thank you. So are you. I'm gonna have to sit in your live and just watch because that's a whole lot. Yeah, but anyway, we're going to do it. We're going to keep pushing. We're a team. We don't quit. We just keep going and going and going. But we are going to move our way through chapter 2026, doing all the things to protect ourselves as much as we can on our 9 to 5s. Do what we can to generate all the additional revenue streams that we can, that we are equipped to do and skilled to do, and figure out how to do that and to do it well. Yeah, we're just gonna keep working. Okay, with the kids. Yeah, see. I'm at home. I don't have no kids. I live alone. Now I'm home and it's people everywhere. Okay, so maybe 90 minutes. Yeah. Okay, well, 90 minutes is still a goal. So it's still a goal for me. So I'm starting next week. Starting Monday, I'm gonna start doing the 90 minutes and just keep pushing and keep going. And yeah, keep sharing all of our wins. Have a good night. Sweet Tooth, have a good night, all of you. Thank you all for whatever you've done to support this room. If you have TAP'd on the screen, if you have showed support through gifting, I so appreciate it. Definitely come on back for more. And yeah, I will see you all in the TikTok streets. Have a good night.